All right, boys, we are live, and you're joining us in the Fight Club for the early show. First off, shout out y'all, and Happy New Year's. We haven't talked boxing all year. Last time y'all saw us, it was December 2022. Now we're in January 2023. But fuck, we got a good ass card to talk. Everyone's favorite Tank versus Garcia. The whole main card should be lit. But stand with us as we get this shit set up, send out the links and everything.
Man, it be feeling like motherfucking I haven't watched boxing in a year, dog. I swear, because like motherfucking because of school and shit, I be only on the UFC tip, and like but this card is nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you used to tell me about it, I was like, ooh, I'm definitely not missing this one. I told niggas I was gonna do something Saturday. Sight, we at the house. I gotta watch Garcia Davis. I gotta go watch my dog Boots. I didn't even know about Andrade, but hey, me and him homies now. I gotta go watch my dog Andrade do his thing.
You're a Boo Boo fan?
You know what I'm saying? I hear he like this shit on niggas. Nah, but I want to see what Burke can do because niggas put a lot of respect on him. You just tell me how his fans think he can actually beat Canelo. Like how? Like who proved that? Like where's the shit with that? But like this is gonna be a good ass card. I'm low-key can't wait to see this shit.
And his fans definitely do believe that he could beat Canelo, but then the vast majority of us are like, why? If you could beat these people, how come you be pulling out of all your fucking fights anytime you fight a really good opponent?
Hey man, we gotta see him.
Well, shit, we can actually kick off with that one because that's the first fight on the main card slate that we're. It's not the first fight on the main card slate, but it's the first fight on the main card slate that we're gonna talk about, which is Boo Boo Demetrius Andrade versus Demon Nicholson, 26-4-1. This will actually be Boo Boo's first fight at 168 since moving up. He's been calling out Charlo. He's been saying he's gonna make easy work of Charlo, and this will be one step closer if he makes easy work of this guy.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I mean, I've never seen him fight before, so it's gonna be interesting. Like they say, he got skills, like Burke can move, and they say he got power too. But the biggest thing about this, I think, was his opponent, because his opponent was not going for that. He was like, "Yo, I'm not no motherfucking tune-up fight. You know, man, like man, fuck all them boys. You gotta beat me. You gotta beat Stills. Like you gotta beat me first. Fuck all that. Fuck all them other boys. You gotta make sure you do me. Like, and then he's over here like, yo, I'm gonna fucking show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all like I'm a motherfucking dog. Like I'm not no motherfucking tune-up. And I respect that. So that means he's coming in with the energy. He has two choices. He can either come in with the energy too hot and just get caught slipping because he's coming in too hot and he's not maneuvering and thinking and fighting. Or he's gonna come in there and think like, yo, everybody counted me out. So first off, I'm coming in with nothing to lose. And second, I'm gonna punch this motherfucker right in his mouth. So that'd be interesting to see if this fight could turn into like a nice little shebang for a good 3-4 rounds before my dog Andrade cleans it up.
See, I think Andrade's gonna look real good in this fight. Honestly, like you say, he has the skills. That's one thing you cannot deny. He has the skills. It's just the resume, opponents. He's lacking in all that. I'm not saying there's a good opponent yet. Hopefully, at 168, we can see some better fights in him. But he is a world champion at 160. He did win a belt. I'm looking at his opponent's record. The opponent has some decent wins, but then he has some losses to Steve Rolls, split decision lost to Jesse Hart, and he also lost to Edgar Berlanga by an unanimous decision in 2021. All three of them, I don't think. Steve Rolls at one point probably is on Boo Boo's level, but Boo Boo, like skill level wise, he's better than all of them easily. Like if Berlanga could beat you unanimous decision easily, and he's not the most skilled fighter, he relies on power punches. I think Boo Boo's just gonna come in here and just make easy work of him, and then like really, it always happens with him. He gets an easy fight, kind of makes it look easy, and then he goes right into talking all that shit because he talks so much. He talks a lot of shit and he calls out everybody, but then it's always the fight after this fight that we never see because we always see him fighting these opponents. And like, yeah, you can talk all you want when you're dusting some bums, but you can't be calling out the number ones whenever you really haven't even fought anyone in the top 10.
Damn, Paul. I didn't know you felt so strongly about this. Now I'm fucking with you. But that's actually true. And I think the way he not duck the question, but the way he didn't answer the question strongly showed that like there's still something left to prove. Because they asked him like, "What's with this weight change and stuff like that?" It was, I don't know. When it was getting too hard to make. It was getting too hard to make 160. Now I'm at 168. Like it wasn't like I'm trying to do new, bigger and better things. I was a champion at what is it, 154 before 160?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a champion 154, champ 160.
No, what? No, he was champion at 160, and then now he's at 168.
No, but didn't he have a championship before that too? At the weight before that?
I'm not too sure. I know that he was a junior middleweight champ. I could double check for you.
But yeah, so like he's saying that like he's making it seem like, yeah, I'm just trying to go up and do my thing, but we gotta find him a fight. You gotta find him a fight against a big dog, and we'll see. That's when he'll get his respect for real. But this card's stacked. Like just to have him as a starter and have his opponent fired up and ready to kind of isn't coming in here just to make a motherfucking check. He's coming in here like, yo, I'm gonna show these motherfuckers what I can do. Like this is showtime.
So he did have a championship at light middleweight, but it was the regular championship. He never had fought for the actual belt, but then he did have a world title at 160.
Respect.
And that was one of the first ducks. Was whenever he had the regular belt. I'm pretty sure he had the opportunity to fight for the actual belt, and that's when he pulled out of that fight. Then when he moved up. So it's like every time he's about to get a big fight at that weight class, he dips that weight class, goes up.
We'll see, man. We know he's gonna bust this one, but let's see what he can do after this. That's interesting. Now I gotta keep an eye on Boo Boo.
I'm guaranteeing you when he wins, he's gonna call out Charlo. And I will say Ellis, who we're gonna talk next, he spars with Boo Boo, and they asked him. I'm pretty sure he also sparred with Charlo before, and they asked him, "Who do you got?" And he said, "I think Boo Boo wins that fight easily." His watched this right before we went live. His said, "I don't want to say it's easy, but it is easy work." I was like, "Oh, he just basically said Charlo easy."
Top 10 pound for pound, Charlo?
Older one that just had his hand injury that pulled out the last fight.
Oh.
But I mean, still, that Charlo ain't no slouch. Like he's world champion too. But there's plenty of fights to made at 168. If he doesn't even get that, well, I would love to see him in a fight with Plant. Or I'd love to see him in a fight with Benavidez. Like there's other opponents at 168.
Yeah, I want to see him and Benavidez. But when Benavidez gonna get that Canelo fight?
Well, after Benavidez and Plant, they fight this year. So hopefully after that, we might get something.
There it goes. But shit, man, that's fight. We're gonna see. But what's the next one?
At 147, Rashadi Speedy Ellis, 24-0, takes on Romain Villa, 25-1. Speedy Ellis having a great year. He came off a win in 2020 over Alexis Rocha, another really big 147 prospect that people have a lot of hopes on. He beats him unanimous decision. Doesn't do anything in 2021. 2022 though takes one fight, first round KO of Jose Marufo. Romain Villa, on the other hand, he's a veteran. He's been in boxing for a while now. He has a lot of names on his resume. Only one loss. A lot of good fighters, known really great fighters on his resume. So this definitely would be like his toughest opponent to date in Rashidi Ellis. But I mean, Rashidi Ellis, from everything I could see, he looks legit. Like top 10 welterweight. He thinks he can beat Boots. Him and Boots were rapping at the presser. He looks like someone, just off it the way he carried himself. He seems like someone who legitimately is another name we should add at the welterweights that we should be looking at.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember if it was Andrade or Ellis. So that's why I waited to bring it up into between. But I'm pretty sure it was Andrade. But he motherfucking, they said, but other brothers talking shit. He was like, bro, I'm gonna beat your ass now. Like, fuck that. I was never gonna be straight. Now I'm gonna beat your ass. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. But on to the Ellis fight. If it was Ellis, which I don't think it was, but Ellis was talking that shit at that press conference. He was letting it be known that like he's one of the dudes at 147 right now, because that's a stacked division. You got Bugs, Errol, Spence Jr., motherfucking the nigga we probably got. You got Boots, Ugas, like you got some hitters.
Virgil Ortiz Jr.
We got hitters, motherfucking. Isn't one of the Garcias in there? Danny Garcia.
Yeah, he ain't making no noise at 147.
You're not making no noise on 147.
Nah, he
Yeah, but motherfucking, that's a stacked division. So to show coming here and kind of prove something, especially when you got Ellis, you got Boots right next to you talking about some eight. Maybe that fight could be next if Errol Spence is tied up with Crawford.
Yeah, no, I know Virgil Ortiz is going to be fighting Illuminus Statonis, and then Boots has said that he wants the winner of that fight, which would be literally like the 3, 4, and 5 guys.
But like, I think this is gonna be like, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of easy work thrown in the air, but because of the matchups, but like, I think a couple of those dudes have. I think a lot of the international dudes don't got nothing to lose. Like Romero, he was talking that shit right back to him. I think that's his name. Is it?
Roman.
Yeah, Roman was talking that shit right back to him. He was like, "Yo, bro, I'm coming in here to showcase my talent. I'm not no bitch."
No, 100%. Like 25-1, you don't get that. Just not showing, and not training, and not showing up. He's a legit vet. He's a legit fighter. Like he doesn't have any great names on his resume, but like he really could come in. I'm not thinking it will happen, but out of all the 4 fights on here, this is by far the closest odds on of all fights on the main card. He's only a plus 400 underdog to minus 700, which in boxing is actually kind of close. It shows like, okay, you're fighting someone who actually could beat you, like someone who isn't just a TikTok boxer or just a fill-in fighter. Like, no, you got someone who actually will be training, will be game planning, has the right team around him, and maybe just didn't have the shot to be able to break out onto a big stage. And maybe you are the shot that he's been looking for.
And that should be bad because Ellis. That should be bad if Ellis better get taken out by Roman. But Roman's not no bitch. I want to see what he can do.
The most interesting fight on here by far, I think, is this one. I think Ellis hasn't seen someone who's gone 10, 12 rounds all their career.
And they was talking about it's going to be a knockout.
I mean, he does have Ellis doesn't have that KO power like Ennis does, like Boots, but his hands are so fast where he puts the combos on you and then you fall.
I'm crying on some anime shit.
Yeah. And then he's already turning and walking away to his corner. And then the motherfucking fall.
Nigga said.
But this is sometimes how the cookie crumbles. And then our next fight, the co-main event for the interim IBF welterweight title, Jaron Boots Ennis 29-0 versus Karen Chukhadzyan. We're just going to call him Karen. It is a difficult last name. We're not Ukrainian. We apologize. I apologize if I messed it up myself. But he's 21-1. I don't want to say he's no slouch because he's 21-1, but he's not the real deal. Like Boots, Boots is Boots, and I understand Boots took this fight because it's the interim title fight, and your next fight after that should be Earl Spence Jr. But in reality, I don't think this gets him any closer to the Earl Spence Jr. fight. And if anything, I've seen a lot of people saying that this guy isn't even better than the last person Boots fought. So it's also, I don't blame Boots for that. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Boots is overrated. He doesn't fight anybody. It's like, well, they also don't fight him. Like he's sending out contracts and they're not answering the motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's crazy. That must be so hurtful. You send out the contract and niggas are like, man, fuck it.
Well, I do have to question it too now because after Speedy said, yeah, that contract you sent me, like it was chump change. I wasn't making nothing in that fight.
Damn, yeah, that boy said, but didn't he say he was like, hey, motherfucker, I'm getting more money for bro over here.
Yeah, like it wasn't a good look after Boots saying that no one wants to fight him. Like, are you sending out bad contracts, Boots? I need to know.
Damn, Boots. But this goes back to how do you feel about the back and forth between him and Ellis? Because Ellis was like, Boots was over here just laughing his ass off. Ellis over here, man, I'll fucking knock your ass out. Fuck you talking about, I'll fuck you up, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're going back and forth. Those aren't verbatim, but like, damn, like, that's a fight you want to see in 2023?
Maybe not 2023, but 2024, because the Speedy's a little younger still. He still has probably a couple more fights before I want to see him in that going for that title range. I think Boots is at a point where like he's rightfully deserving of a title shot, whether it be Crawford, whether it be Spence, or whether it be they vacate it and he has to fight like Ortiz or Ugas or something for a vacant belt. But those are the names that he's deserved, like at this point in his career. And that's why I think he was laughing about it too. It's like he's comfortable in his own skin, because I didn't know this till recently, but like Boots didn't win no Olympic. He didn't have no amateur pedigree. He wasn't something that was making any noise before coming pro. So he had to take the long route. And now he's finally getting into his name's on the main card. Like that just happened last year. Like, so but he's taking his route. Is this something like he's seen the trenches. He's seen how he knows how hard he's had to work to get to where he's at. So like he's watching this like fly next to him, or like a little chihuahua barking a lot. He's just laughing because he knows who he is in his skin and what he can do. So like that's why I think he's one of the most gangsters. It's like the way that he can sit there and just laugh at you and not even be fucking. You can be sitting there sparking all the real shit, and he'll be sitting there knowing himself like, man, if these lights weren't here, I would fucking kill you right now. Like if all these people weren't here, I don't think you would be yelling at me the way you're yelling at me.
Damn. That was savage. That was probably the best Boots takes I've ever heard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Somebody cook that, send out the Boots at Boots. that boy Paul's a fan, man. I fuck with Boots, and I want to see him put on a showcase. Like you said, man, he's not coming in here. He doesn't really give a fuck about Ellis. Doesn't really give a fuck about who's fighting. Well, he's coming here to showcase his talents to the entire world.
And they're a hell of a talent. They're saying he could be the best American boxer up there with Spence, like in the recent generation. Because there hasn't been a lot of great American boxers since like Floyd Floyd was holding it down for a while by himself, solo, lone wolf. And like now he got Spence and that Boots. Like Boots is gonna be slowly into that.
You know what's funny? I don't know if I'm a big boxer fan, but I'm a huge Floyd fan. Like I don't like saying I'm a big boxer fan because like I be my scorecard be off. Like I be swearing this.
Yeah, I be seeing this. I be doing the thing. I'm like, bro, how the fuck? I had the other guy winning by 5 rounds. How the fuck?
I'm like, hold on, like time out. But I was a huge Floyd fan. I used to always say like, damn, Floyd just love fucking up international niggas. Like he don't never even when he got Conor McGregor come over there, like he's always fucking up. And to this day, he's fucking up international niggas overseas and shit. Like he just love to fuck up a nigga from around the way.
That my favorite one is Adrian Broner. He's the can man. Doesn't matter if you're African, American, Mexican. He's went through all the. You can get it. I'm the can man. That's my favorite one. but Boots, like skill wise, I only give him more respect when I come to find out that he didn't have the amateur backgrounds and he didn't have the Olympic pushes and he didn't come into a star. Like he wasn't getting like, oh, he's big in amateurs. Once he comes into pros, the immediate push by the Showtime, immediate push by ESPN. Now he had to go fucking grind his way, knock out a few people before he even get like noticed. So now it really makes me respect his skill, and not just his skill, but his work ethic. Because he'd be the work, the camps that come out that be saying, yeah, like he outworks everybody. He's first one in, last one out. He's not slacking. Like he's legitimately wants the 147 belt. And I don't know how much longer Earl Spence can like keep him at bay. Because there will be eventually, like 2023 will be the last year that Earl Spence may be able to keep his name at bay until he has to fight him or vacate it. But I see Ennis winning a belt here, maybe even moving up to 154 in the future, winning some belts, like 160, because he's a big dude. He can easily go up.
That boy Boots is the truth, man. I want to see him do some things. I feel like him and Shakur are probably like my favorite young niggas, even though I feel like those are the top two though.
And on the other side, Chukhadzyan, like I said, like all his wins, like his last 4 fights coming in, 2 fights in 2021, 2 fights in 2022, all knockouts. Well, one of them, he retired them in their stool, but the rest of them knocked him out. Like he has power. He does have skill. Ukrainian boxing, the one thing they're known for is footwork, knowing how to fight behind a jab, throwing combos. but there's just no one on his resume that even like compares the Boots, and like you cannot not be like when you go into a ring with Boots, you gotta at least have some prior experience dealing with this type of monster. You can't go in there because the moment Boots puts a little bit of power on you, it's like he may knock you out with a jab. Like you just cannot go in. Like Custio Clay in his last fight, power puncher, KO, all his fights knocked everyone out. Goes in there with Boots, second round knockout, overhand right, one of the nastiest right hooks too. And it's just like Custio Clay was doing that to people until he ran into Boots, and Boots is just a different level of that. Like it's just so I just don't see this fight going past 5 rounds. Like this is going to be an early exit, I think, for Karen.
It's crazy. He said he was crazy. He said that he doesn't even look for knockouts. He kind of just does his thing. He solidifies his jab. He works around his jab. He knows his game. He does what he does, and then he lets it lead to a finish.
And that's what real skill fighters do. You're not looking for a KO. You're just boxing. You're just hitting it, and oh shit! I chopped the tree down. My bad. Next fight, and now for the main event. The WBA regular lightweight title is on the line. Gervonta Tank Davis, 27-0, defending his belt against Hector Garcia, 16-0, straight out of Dominican Republic. No slouch. A lot of Twitter fanboys are thinking this is an easy fight for Tank, all this stuff, Who is this guy? Never heard of him. 16-0, go look him up. He's legit, former featherweight champion.
300 amateur fights, Olympian.
And he got robbed in the Olympics. He should be, I'm not saying a gold, but the way the people are talking is he should have been at least placing in the Olympics. And he got knocked out early. It was a robbery. One of the few early, because usually robberies happen in the late fights. This was like a robbery in like the round of 64. Like it was some crazy shit that happened apparently. But so like give him his respect. Olympian, fucking Golden Glove winner. Like this guy's legit. Like he had featherweight. He's currently the second best ranked featherweight at 130. He's ranked number 2 by Ring Magazine. Former champion of 130. Now moving up to 135 to take on Tank. Like he has skill. And the people that think, oh, Tank's just gonna come in here and knock him out in the 3rd round, like I don't know. Like I do think Tank should win this fight, but there's not gonna be some fucking. I also think this may be Tank's best win on to date. Like over Pitbull, over Barrios. Like Hector Garcia is a legit in his prime too, which is the other big thing.
I agree. I think so first, before I get into anything, you know me and Tank, I ride for Tank, you feel me? I'm a ride for Tank.
You ride
every time. Tank versus motherfucking Prime Lomachenko, I'm A. You never know what can happen, man. I'll be on the podcast. You never know what can happen, man. Hey, Tank got the power, man. All you gotta do is just
Tank.
All you gotta do, I'm just saying, you might have to take 18 of them to the face, but hey, that one. If that one hits clean, that's all you need. So you know I ride with Tank. But I want to put some respect on the Hector, you feel me? First off, Tank's coach, funniest person alive. He was awesome. Hector Garcia, you got a boxing name. I respect that. I'm sorry, it got to be you, Hector.
Definitely good boxing name.
I was like, damn. But Hector, that's a great boxing name, man. Man, he's a great boxer. After I'm watching the Showtime document, Showtime build up about him, the fact that he came in, he was unranked, came in and beat one of the big dudes in his division, and then came back, and showed him that it wasn't a fluke because he beat the champion next to win the championship, and he held that bitch down. So I respect that. I think he's a big dog. I don't know if it was it a real championship?
Yep, real champ.
It was a real champ, you know what I'm saying? World title, you know what I'm saying? So, and his training, like his team is good. Like his trainer is good. He's great. He was just showing that they respect Tank. But like, yo, Hector is one of a kind talent. He can really put the shit on the map. And he's the first person out of his country to ever do that. He's inspiring an entire island right now. I didn't know no Dominican boxers ever like kind of headlined a main event like that. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I didn't even know Dominican were boxing like that. I know they play baseball, I know they race, but like, I didn't know they was boxing like that. So to respect to him, But
it's been the year of Dominica because him and then Albert Pujols or Albo Pujols, I don't know how to say his name. He won a championship this year. He won a belt this year. He's also Dominican.
nice. So Dominicans are eating right now. So you gotta respect Hector. But boy, we talking Javante Tank Davis, GTD, big dog. You feel me? Come on now. This man hits hard late in the fight, Paul. Like 7th round, he's still swinging like hard. So I don't know Hector's exact skill set, but I think if Tank just comes in and he keeps pushing forward, he has good defense, and he just shows that like he just doesn't like get caught on the ropes. He doesn't play with his food, and he comes in and plays a smart technical game. Like this is his fight to win, because he's trying to really set up like, yo, he has this is Tank. Tank has to push like we've been saying ever since we started covering Tank. Like, yo, he has to do something. He has to make something shake, and this is his chance now. Like he has to, after this fight, he has the Garcia fight set up, and then after that, you got to go after one of the big dogs in your division.
He's really priming himself, especially because the first fight card of the year. He's priming himself for arguably the best 2023 of anybody. He could beat Hector Garcia, beat Ryan Garcia, in what would be the mega fight of mega fights right now. And it probably would outsell any fight going on right now. And then he could potentially, I don't know, just because in boxing world, Crawford Spence is a better fight, but in reality, the audience who's gonna buy Ryan Garcia's followers, Tank Davis's followers alone, and then the real boxing fans on top of it. So then now, I really think that could be the biggest sale in the last 3-4 years of boxing. Now pay-per-view wise.
And the beef.
And the promos that they're not just gonna cut, but imagine those 30-second commercial promos that they cut up for people. It's gonna be from 2017 shit, 2018, 2009. It's gonna be so much years of accumulating shit talk.
Yeah, but the fucking fight. There it goes.
Yeah. So and then he could wrap if he goes back to back. If he's really gonna fight Ryan Garcia in March, April time, or even May. He could set up for a December undisputed fight against Haney or Shakur, whatever. If that shit don't get worked out, who knows? You could really set up to go from having just a regular belt, people laughing at you. You leave Floyd's the Floyd program, you start making your own fight, and then bam, you're gonna you get two great names on your resume. Ryan Garcia and Hector Garcia gets added to his resume. I don't think you can really talk shit about his resume that much anymore. Then you top it off with an undisputed fight that you have a chance 50-50 to win. And the easily fighter of the year, Javante Tank Davis, if he does that.
I don't know, man. That boy Hector Garcia got fighter of the year. You ain't see the Showtime documentary?
No, I didn't. Former fighter of the year.
That boy
he probably got it when he went unranked to ranked champion.
I believe, but that boy had a fighter of the year shirt, and his homeboy, which I'm not gonna lie to you, as a person that is very loyal and has a good set of dogs. If my homeboy came to me while I was training, gave me a fighter of the year shirt, and then his homeboy gave him a trophy talking about you're my fighter of the year and all that shit, I would have respected. I probably wouldn't have put it in the documentary personally, but I would have took that and I would have been like, I appreciate that, bro. This is gonna be my motivation to fight. But he got that shit and they clowned him a little bit for that shit at the press conference. It was first thing Tank coach said was, yeah, Hector, you still got that. You got he was talking to the Garcia's coach. He was like, hey, does he got that fight of the year shirt on? Garcia's coach like, I don't know. I didn't watch. She has a jacket on. I didn't watch him get dressed in the bathroom. And he goes, okay. I just wanted to see if you got that fight of the year shirt. I got it on in the documentary. All right. I was like, damn.
Well, and the face off, I thought it was, you saw when they get the face off and Tank is doing some goofy shit where he's pushing him, and then all of a sudden he pushes him back, and then then they're all right, turn around and smile. He's doing some weird motion, and then they're all right, now smile. He's like broad cheese smile, as if he's normal. And I was just what the fuck is he doing? It was such an odd ass face off.
Yeah, he looked like he was off of perk. On Twitter, they said it looked like he was off of perk 30, dude.
Yeah, no, that shit was I was like, what the fuck? And I always thought Hector Garcia looked he was in stance, like he was ready about to like steal off. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, put your hands down. They were really in some stance. I don't know. It was such an odd ass face off to me.
That shit was interesting as fuck. It was a great press conference. Definitely the best conference of the year so far.
Oh yeah, one on one. But with the fight, I really think my one issue with Tank Davis, and the only reason I say it is because he did it against Rolly, and I thought he should have really just killed Rolly, was he gave up early rounds. Like he gave up like the first 3-4 rounds before he did go in there and it's like, all right, my power is gonna show now. And he does that sometimes in other fights. I don't know if you can really do that with Hector Garcia. I also do know Hector Garcia is a career 130-er, so who knows if his chin can handle power at 135. But it's just like, if you give up rounds against probably your best skilled opponent to date, it's hard to come back if you don't get the knockout later on. Because you like judges typically, like if you give up the first 5 or 6 rounds, like it's gonna be kind of hard to go if it goes to decision to come out with that win.
Yeah. And like, yeah, that's facts. Damn, that's facts. But he hits hard. I'm a firm believer. Tanks hits hard as fuck late in the fight. Like that motherfucker, 7th and 8th round, that nigga is really cracking this shit. So like, we gonna see, man. As long as he can just, like you said, he can stay in the fight early and make sure that he's staying on top of his shit. Don't give up no early rounds. He can do it, man. But like, it's always crazy when they bring up his knockout percentage, like 93%.
93, definitely. Like he's him, Inoue, Tank, not Tank, him, Inoue, and Wilder. Like those are like the 3 pound for pound killers. Like I don't care who you really put at 1, 2, or 3.
Headhunters.
But it should be a great fight. Like I don't know, because I'm gonna say Hector Garcia on a decision win would be my long shot. Like if I was because we all think the favorites are gonna win, but I'm gonna ride Hector Garcia for this fight, just because I do believe Tank may give up too many rounds, and if he can't finish him or knock him down, like because if he scores a couple of knockdowns late, that's different. Now he can win a decision pretty probably. But if he doesn't get that, Hector Garcia may just find himself another big upset win. And then he may put on that Fighter of the Year shirt in the ring afterwards.
That would be so gangster.
Hey, call me Hector, bro. I'm going to get you right. I'm going to make sure they put you on the big screen if you win.
That would be so gangster if he did that.
And be like, and tell Tank he's my Fighter of the Year.
Hell
yeah. But I do have one little bet. I haven't given out a boxing bet in a while, so I thought, why not, since we're live, do it. It's a parlay, 2 legs. It's Boots to get the KO within 6 rounds, and Boo Boo to get an unanimous decision, not unanimous, but the fight to go to Boo Boo to win in the distance. He wins by decision. Put those together, plus 105, just 20 to win 22. But I mean, those are, I feel like, locks. Like I'm not stressing this at all. I think Andrade is going to be able to get the decision win. I don't think he has the power moving up to 168. He didn't really knock out anybody at 160. So 168 shouldn't be anything different. And in Boots, he ain't making it past 6 rounds.
Mm-hmm. I respect it. Boxing probably has to be one of the hardest things to bet on, because it's just like the odds be so shitty.
Yeah, that's why you have to find ways to get even plus odds. Like, because both of those, like Boots to win within 6 was like minus 400, and Boo Boo to win by in distance was like minus 170. But oh shit, real quick, actually, what would be my odds on that Tank fight? Just to see if Hector Garcia, right now, I'll tell you the odds. Hector Garcia to win by decision will pay out plus 1,200. Just that. Just Hector Garcia to win in the decision, plus 1,200. I'm actually going to sprinkle a little bit of that right there right now.
So if I bet 20, how much is that?
On just that, you bet 20, you win $240 plus your 20 bet.
Hey, sprinkle me, sprinkle. Hey, I'm gonna cash up you 20 right now.
Yeah. So yeah, that Hector Garcia fight. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you gotta go against the routine to find the right odds because this is not like that's not an out of realm of possibility. But at plus 1,200,
I'm gonna cash up you 19. I need you to handle that for me.
I got you. But all right, we just gave out a 12-1, not even a parlay, a 12-1 straight up bet, giving out a plus 105 parlay lot for boxing this weekend. And all you got to do is just place those bets. And I hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoy Saturday's fight. What time is this fight kicking off? 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Tank Davis Garcia's main card will start. Boo Boo versus Nicholson, first fight at 168. Speedy Rashadi Ellis versus Roman Villa, real tough test at 147 versus the future of 147 in some eyes. Boots Ennis versus Karen Chukhadzyan for the interim IBF World Welterweight title. And then, of course, the main event, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia for the WBA regular lightweight title.
Bro, this is gonna be the funnest night ever. I'm literally just gonna be sitting there like, hey, I picked Tank. I'm rooting for Tank. But if they give it to Garcia decision, we going out tonight, y'all boys.
Nah, for real. That's what it would be fun. But spark up, pour up. Hope you enjoyed the show. This has been Paul Pickle Winham Concha. That's Kev, Waterboy, Street Fight Enthusiast, Savoy.
Hector Garcia enthusiast.
Hector Garcia enthusiast. Yeah, money change, motherfucker. Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, if I catch that nigga Tank head too high, I'm making a phone call like, hey, yo, slow him down. Hey, give that nigga some chicken in the corner or something. So like,
yeah, slow him down, bro. They tell him relax.
Hey, tell him chill on that, man. We trying to make some money here tonight. Hey, this is why I don't bet. I'm having too much fun.
Nah, for real. But this has been Totally Blitz podcast. This is the Fight Club.